Okay, so now we're going to get into the text a little bit. We're moving around the space. We're starting to do a lot of different stuff today than we did yesterday. And so what we're going to do is this. I don't know what we're going to do next. Let me find out what I don't remember. Let me see what we're going to do next. It's over here on the next page. Yes. All right, everybody. Now that we have we're in pairs. Everybody find your high five person and go back to them. Find your high five person, go back to them. We're going to do a visual arts activity with our bodies called Sculpture Garden. One of our most popular activities that's been around for a long time. Let me get a volunteer. Somebody come here with me. Anybody jump in here? Thank you. Okay, you ready? Molly, yes. I still remember Molly because she was my ball. That's the great thing about those activities. I know Molly. I never forget Molly because of the ball activity we did. She was my ball partner. Okay, so Molly, here's what we're going to do. No talking, so it's going to be completely silent. One person's the sculptor, one person's the clay. Okay, so Molly's the clay, which means she doesn't have to do anything except be silent and be sculpted. I'm going to give you a word or a phrase. With that word or phrase, you're going to create your interpretation of that word or phrase with your clay. Molly's the clay, I'm the sculptor, okay? So the phrase I'm just going to say is from Iggy Peck. It's a bridge. So I got to create a bridge with Molly. Now, you can do this a couple ways. The way we're going to do it, I think everybody's comfortable. If you're not, just tell your partner that you're not comfortable with touch. You're comfortable with me touching you? Okay. So if you're not comfortable with touch, just tell your partner and you can say, okay, do this, right? And then they can do it. But it's better if you do it like this. I'm going to create a bridge because she's clay. And anything I do, I'm going to shape. And you may need to say, like, if you want them to go down, don't push them down. Say, just go down, go down a little bit. But I'm going to push you over a little bit, and then make a bridge this way. And that's great. There's my interpretation of bridge, and she's going to stay like that. So you have to sculpt them into something they don't make them go like this, because they're going to have to stay like that for a couple minutes. Okay? So are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good. So she could stay there. So there's a bridge, right? There's my interpretation of bridge. Okay? Thank you, Molly. Round of applause, everybody. Okay, so no talking at all for this. This is completely silent, okay? Completely silent. So what I want you to do is fill up the space with your partner. So don't be a circle. Everybody come into the space with your partner. No talking, no talking. You don't have to do anything. I'll do it all for you. Choose person A and person B. Person A and B. Okay. A is the clay and B is the sculptor. Okay, no talking. So let's get ready for this. Complete silence. Your first phrase you're going to sculpt is this. Hatching a plan. Create a sculpture of what hatching a plan looks like to you. And it can't be this, like where you point to your mind, like I'm coming up with a plan. Okay, anything else, hatching a plan, don't talk, just create the sculpture for hatching a plan.
Real big. We're gonna look straight.
And when you've created your idea, all the sculptors start to walk around the room and look at all the sculptures in the room. Sculptors, leave your sculptures there. We have a sculpture garden now of the interpretations of hatching a plan. And sculptors, return to your partner. And without talking, all the sculptures can relax and be in neutral position. Now we're going to switch who's the clay and who's the sculptor. So you're switching who's the clay and who's the sculptor, staying with your partner. And now you're going to create a sculpture of his heart sank. His heart sank. And what I'd like for you to do is use levels. If you were up, go use down. If you were down, go up. Play with levels a little bit with this one. His heart sank, and go for it. And finishing in 3, 2, 1, and walk around the room and take a look at what we have. His heart sank. And everybody relax. Sculptures relax. By the way, that's quite incredible with the light coming in, the sun coming in here, and the music. It's like, oh my God, what's going on in here? Okay, I had to get my camera out for that one. Okay, great. Now, next one is, what I'd like for you to do is join another partner. So we're in groups of 4. We're in groups of 4. Join another pair in groups of 4. Now in your group, choose one person to be the sculptor. Go. And sculptors, you have 3 pieces of clay. 3 pieces of clay. I know I can't, the music's back there, I can't turn it down. 3 pieces of clay. Sculptors move a little more quickly. You don't have time to do this with each person. So say you get into this position, you get into this position, you get into this position. You're going to create an interconnected sculpture with 3 pieces of clay. An interconnected sculpture. Your phrase you're going to create is, we're trapped here. We're trapped here. And you're not going to talk, completely silent. You can only show it completely silent. Go. And sculptures, when you're done, come on in here in the middle with me. And there we go. Would you mind pausing the music? Do you know how to do that on my? No, you don't know how to do that. I don't think you have that. Never mind. Or if you could turn it down, if there's a volume switch that you know. Okay, great. So what we have here is like, what I love about this is look how different they are. So this is important for different, we're taking a piece of text, we're creating an interpretation of that text, but all of them are different. Because as students, we want to really help them to see that they can all have different interpretations of text. And that's what this is about, multiple interpretations, multiple perspectives, multiple ways of seeing text. Look how different they are. So let's get one person, can one person volunteer to talk about what you created and why? One of the sculptors here.
We're trapped here. I took a more aggressive position. I noticed that people turned in. I thought that was really interesting to protect themselves. We are checking up high for an escape, in the middle for an escape, and then down low for an escape, so if we can find any way at all to get out.
That's beautiful, see? So you can do this with 4 students in front of your room, and the sculptor can explain why they created it. The language around it is really important, because listen to you look at this and it's beautiful, but you don't know all the reasons behind it. And then you really get the interpretation when they verbalize it. That's when their thinking becomes visible, right? So it's really wonderful to do the art and then have the artist explain why they made the choices they made. We could do that with each one, but it would take a long time. So I just want to demonstrate that. Okay, thank you. Round of applause. Let's do one more. Choose another a different person to be the sculptor in your group. And we're going to do the next one is going to be this. These are all phrases from the text, by the way. Spend your time building a dream. Spend your time building a dream. Go for it. You have to create it without talking. Without talking, just show it. Move them into positions or show the position. When you're done, sculptors come in the middle.
Spend your time building a dream. The first thing that came to mind was my time becoming a teacher. So when I was a child and I stepped into a school building, I met my teachers and they intrigued me. As a teenager, the same thing. I still wanted to be a teacher, and then I became an adult and I became a teacher.
Ooh, wow, see? So look at that. What happened there? Yeah. So that was just the entire performance cycle, right? She built community. We're entering text by taking a text, but she also created her personal interpretation of it and brought her life to it. So it's like the whole thing in one. It's beautiful because that's a real text-to-self connection that she made and created from that place. Beautiful, thank you. You can relax, guys, thanks. All right, everybody, that's wonderful. Let's go all join up in a big circle here. So that's Sculpture Garden, not what's up there. It's Sculpture Garden, and that's one way of doing sculptures, okay? We're gonna take a break, because it's always 10 o'clock's my break time always, because that's about how long you need after drinking that coffee when you gotta run to the bathroom, right? So it's 10 o'clock, we're gonna let you take that break. Then we're gonna come back and do 2 other ways of making sculptures with your students. Just not that one, that's Sculpture Garden. I'm gonna show you 2 other ways. One that I created called Instant Sculptures, which is fantastic, and another one called Sculptures in Space, okay? And then we're gonna be working with more of the text, throwing out words and phrases and playing with the text in that way. Sculptures are great because it's a way to do performance that's not risky. All you have to do is freeze, right? You're not vocalizing, there's no vocalizing. So for kindergartners, first graders, ELL students, special needs students, it's good because you're not putting all that language around it and they can jump into the text immediately. All right, everybody, take a break. We'll see you back here in a couple minutes.